my back. Pull it to the side, baby girl, can't switch. Different type of loving in my world, can't miss.
You people, welcome back to the Fix Is Born are here with Aria, and we have a Cruff in the building. Not too easy. Before we get to that, we have to say big ups to our sponsors, Church Hill Natural Products. All right, so one bottle of this, give your girl some problems, good type of problems. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, them know what I talk about. You can contact them at churchillnaturalproducts@gmail.com. Follow them on Instagram at Churchill_natural products. Yeah, Churchill, unleash your inner lion, power up with lion roots from Churchill Pure Natural. You also a big up Ship It JA. You can follow them on Instagram at Ship It JA. They put the Irie in shipping to Jamaica. You can check out their website at shipitja.com. You don't know, say fast shipping always wins, and Ship It JA say fast shipping. As I said, people have a Cruff in the building. King Cruff.
Greetings.
Bless up.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just jump right into the name, because I mean, why you name yourself Cruff, sir?
Why I name myself Cruff?
Yeah.
So when I was growing up in Jamaica, in Kingston, and I'd go to school, specifically high school, people would call me a Cruff based on like how I dress or maybe how I talk. And I feel like when they do that, they just stamp this label on me without really asking me about like what I thought, what my vision was, what my ambitions was, what I saw myself to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the people that actually took that time knew me to be a king. People would tell me that all the time when I was growing up, right?
Okay.
And I understand I was just a very different kid, you know, I was really out there. But when I became a musician, the original name was Solid Roy, and that name wasn't really sticking, you know what I mean? People would just call me by my government name, which is Solomon, if nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I started calling myself King Cruff, kind of to flip it, you know what I mean? And in all honesty, it started out as a joke. Like I didn't really expect it to catch on, but then people just started calling me King Cruff, and I was like, you know, I feel like this name means something, and now I feel like it has some meaning to me, where it means you could be both the best of your potential and the worst of your potential at the same time.
It's quite an oxymoron when they really preach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And King Solomon was right there.
Yeah,
It's right there.
I know. I thought about it, but I was like, nah, that's a little too, you know what I mean?
Wait, point of iteration. Which school, high school you went to?
I went to Hillel Academy.
They never used to wear uniform?
They did.
So that's what I said, well, when you go to school, like, in a uniform, they did that for wear.
You know, I don't want to diss out the school, but you know, that school has a certain air and energy to it. And if you don't fit that air energy,
you're rich.
That's
what he means. It's a very private high school.
There's an attitude there, you know what I mean? And I don't think I really fit that attitude, and I don't really wrong nobody for that.
How you never fit the attitude? Wow.
Yeah.
To be in Hillel, that means that your entire family has to come from means. So everybody there would be on some sort of equal footing. So how you felt separate from them?
I just feel like in that section of Jamaica, it's very easy for people to pick at whatever they can to lower your standing or your status, you know what I mean? To make themselves seem higher. I'm not saying everybody did that to me, but some people definitely did.
Is it because you're black?
That's a part of it.
Oh.
From my belief, that could be a part of it.
Okay.
We did have like 1998 Rolex, and never have the current one, man. Like something like that. Like your father, they drive a 98 BMW, and they never.
That's a classic car right there. That's a classic car. So, I mean, it says that you are Canadian Jamaican. So, yes. You were born in Jamaica?
I was born in Canada.
That's what I was figuring out. So, because I was wondering if you left Jamaica to finish high school in Canada, but you completed the entire high school years in Jamaica?
I did prep school and high school in Jamaica, and then I moved.
Back to Canada?
Back to Canada for college.
Okay, which college?
I went to Fanshawe College first, finished that. Then I went to University of Western Ontario. But I didn't stay in Western because I kind of felt like when I went there, you know, I wasn't going to classes, my grades were slipping. And I had a conversation with myself where I was like, you know what, I feel like this is happening because I know I'm investing all this time and energy in my plan B. You know what I mean? Where I know my plan A is music or just being creative in general. So I kind of had to have that reflection and ended up leaving that school to go to an audio engineering school called OE Art.
Okay.
And that's where I kind of like started focusing on this becoming a profession for me.
Oh, music. So you went to school for music.
So
Right.
I'm guessing probably you studied like engineer work too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you maybe to produce yourself and mix an audio, like
You know,
to master yourself.
I actually don't like mixing myself, you know. I love doing it for other artists, but I feel like for me, I like it when someone is in the room to be like, no, try this, try that, you know.
What make?
I feel like when you kind of have it all from one person, you don't have that idea of like collaboration. You're not making up. You're just making what you like, you know? And music is supposed to be about what can connect with other people.
Some people who would have them skills would have probably appreciate, I have more control over things.
It's definitely cheaper, you know? That's one thing, but but I've always invested in my music, you know what I mean?
It's always cheaper. That's true. So, I mean, so you started out your musical journey in Canada pretty much, right? Like, so you started to record yourself in Canada?
I actually started recording out here
Really?
in Jamaica,
Okay,
yeah. But back in those days, I was rapping, you know what I mean? Like straight boom bap bars, you know what I mean? MF Doom type. I shout out all the rappers that were around during my time, like 5 Steez, you know what I mean? But I feel like when I was rapping out here, people would be like, oh yeah, you're the rapper youth, you know what I mean? But they didn't really support rap like that, you know what I mean?
don't.
Yeah, and it's still kind of like that. It's a little bit better now, you know? So,
Big up Jack.
so, you know, when I left, that was when it was like, you know, let me actually start taking a more professional turn on this in this new market.
Which is, I'm guessing, reggae.
No, when I left here to go to Canada, I was doing more hip hop there.
Yeah, because I figured it would more work in Canada, right?
But I'm saying no, what you really do right now, at least the genre you really lean into is reggae.
I'm becoming more reggae influenced, yes.
Okay.
And I wouldn't even describe your sound as reggae influence. Like I was listening to a couple of your songs, and I was like, no, you're not reggae. And I don't mean that as disrespect, and I don't even think that you think that is disrespectful. Like, you are definitely somebody that fuses the new sound. Like, I don't know, you're reggae inspired, as you said, but I don't hear reggae.
Yeah.
I hear like R&B, Afrobeat, that sort of international sound. So why you kind of want to be like reggae, like say that you're reggae inspired, when to me it feel like your music is not reggae?
I feel like reggae is probably the most important music in my life. You know what I mean? Like growing up, that's what I heard all the time. That's what kind of like, that's what I love. That's what brought out emotions out of me. But when I started doing music, you know, I couldn't sing reggae. You know what I mean? So that was probably when I started listening to all these other forms of music, you know, like the hip hop, the funk, the disco. And I feel like now when I started doing music and started becoming more melodic, I started drawing inspiration from all these different genres. So I feel like it wasn't really like a plan, like, yo, I'm going to be the guy that mixes genres. It's just that when I'm in the studio and I hear a beat, I'm like, maybe I can draw inspiration from here, a melody that I know would be sick from this genre, and just put it on there and see if it works.
And I'm guessing so probably reggae is an easier entry point too with your rap base. Because a lot of the reggae man them right now, they're rappers.
Yes, yeah.
Even Proto J and Kabaka, them did a rap.
Yeah, I've heard the rap tracks.
Them. Yeah, be a boom rap. Boom bap. Rap them did I do. You know what I mean? So it's a easier entry point.
Right.
Yeah. I was wondering if it's because, well, you're Jamaican and I guess your family lineage too, like, whereas like people expect you to do reggae, that was it?
No, not really. I feel like when the first melodic track I feel like I really started playing with it was Soufflé, you know? And I feel like with Soufflé, it just came out, you know what I mean? Like I was just figuring out how can I sing on this, and that was just the idea to kind of like mix that not really reggae dancehall melodies, but kind of in there.
Because with Soufflé, it's almost like DJ style.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, well, I can hear the influence of reggae dancehall, like the Jamaican sound do that, but like even with these newer songs with She Don't Need and Fall Back,
it's more heavy.
It's more international, like R&B, Afrobeat, than reggae dancehall at all. But people, I mean, you're overseas, you have Jamaican connection, like people consider you a reggae act?
You know, people consider me a reggae act, people consider me a dancehall act, and I understand why, because everybody wants to like be able to identify you by something.
Yeah.
But really, I'm just an artist, man. I'm a musician, you know what I mean? And I know that's like the cool, mysterious artist thing to say, but genuinely that's how I look at myself. You know what I mean?
What about your family influences? Like they had any hand in, guiding the career?
FYI, he's a Marley.
He's a Marley.
Yes, in case nobody knows, you know what I mean? Not in the early stages, I wouldn't say. I mean, I should shout out, my mom's, because I feel like she was always someone who would give me advice, even though she's not a musician herself. She'd give me advice and just tell me what she thought was right. But I don't think I really went to anybody, like any of my uncles, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, what do you think? Like the only uncle I remember I have conversations like that with was Uncle Steve. You know what I mean? And still to this day, I do that.
Which is Steven, right?
Yes, okay. Uncle Stephen Marley, you know what I mean?
We know.
Sorry. Apologies,
Okay, yeah.
But because he was always interested, you know what I mean? So he'd be the ones that have that conversation.
What do you mean, interested in you? Like you're...
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he'd always want to know like what was going on, you know? And then as time went on, and the name started getting bigger up in Canada, eventually we entered a deal with Universal Music Canada and Tough Gang. Tough Gang approached us. So I guess it would be shout out, yeah?
Tough Gang approach you?
Yes.
But I know your family.
Yeah, but they came, you know what I mean? They were like, would you be interested in this? And I was like, oh, sick. You know what I mean?
But...
They just think there's a natural right.
Approach me like, for just get free recordings. Like, what's happening here?
I don't expect that. You know what I mean?
Really?
No, for a long time when I was independent, it was just, that was what it was. It was only Cruff, you know?
So wait, you never relied on their assistance in any way? Like...
Now it's more of a business venture. So now, me and Auntie will have those creative conversations and the rest of the team. But before that, I was just independent. I was just doing that. To be honest with you, I think most of them didn't even know I was doing music.
I'm very impressed because to say they approached, I'm like, it's a given. Like, I thought it would be a given. Like, hey, like, I'm an artist now. Help me.
Yeah, not me.
And one would think say you would have lean in the family name too, at least have Marley in an artist name. Probably that get you through enough doors easier.
Yeah.
That ever cross your mind?
But I mean, and a lot of people ask me why I don't do that. You know what I mean? A lot of people come up to me and be like, yo, if I was on Marley, I'd have the name in there. But for me, music is about my journey. You know what I mean? Music is about the path that I'm carving so that when I pass away, people remember what Solomon did. You know what I mean? So I feel like me just picking names that didn't necessarily have that stamp in there, it was just my form of expression. You know what I mean?
And I guess too, it works because I mean, if they have to like do by Google to figure like you're related to him, but with King Cruff is like you stand on your own.
Right.
So and I guess that is it. You want people to respect the music for you, like without having to think of the Marley name out, like immediately. So it's like King Cruff and I'm like, oh wow, yeah, you do. Yeah. You're related to them, but it's like you go good music.
The music still delivers.
Right.
Yeah. I had some friends who when the news came out from Universal that I was related to Marley, I had some friends in Canada who were upset because I'd known them for years, but they had never known. So they kind of felt like, yo, dog, you never told us. But, that's just life. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel like I maneuver.
Ever appreciate maybe some of the family might take offense to that?
I don't see why they would. You know what I mean? I feel like
why the youth is even embrace the family name. Like wear dreads.
Yeah.
Like when you go grow dreads on them,
oh man,
never think about that.
Up him here, it kind of work.
Why the youth move so separate from me?
I can tell you're trying to get me in trouble. That's what's happening.
No, but I want to say,
Solomon.
I want like some family members. At least if it was a different family and a family member out there do them thing as like. You are do your thing and you don't explain it as say you just want to establish yourself, but some people might just misread it and say, the youth look like him just want to separate himself from the family. Why? Go on.
But that's why communication is key. I feel like I'm someone who can communicate with people very easily and I have no problems with if anybody wants to have that conversation, I have that conversation with them. You know what I mean? Because it's not from a place of malice. It's not from a place of I think I'm better or worse than anybody in the family. Definitely not better. You know what I mean? I think I have a lot to learn from my uncles and my aunties and my cousins as well.
Yeah, because the whole like YG, Skip, like them all use the name and so it's just like why not you?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I get what you're saying now, and I guess most people, if you watch this, when they watch this interview, they can appreciate where you're coming from. Like, you really, it's not that you want to be separate, but you want to be able to stand independent on your own, to say that you do it on your own.
Right.
It's the harder route, definitely.
It's not malicious in any way, you know?
Okay.
So I make that clear.
Yeah. But I respect it, you know? Because I feel like, too, like, I was even wondering when you come from a family like this, like, did you try to do anything else to, like, say, well, I don't want to do music because it's like a given. I'm a Marley. I have to do music. Did you try another field? Like, you had any goals other than music when you started? Well, not when you started. You had any other goals or dream of doing anything else other than music?
Definitely. I wanted to be an author growing up. You know what I mean? That was honestly the dream for me for a long time until I started rapping. You know what I mean? And I was trying to do both, but then I realized, I have to fully focus on one if I wanted to go. Because to be honest with you, in my life, I had this realization the other day. I just want to be creative. You know what I mean? I want to make my success and my empire and support my family off of being creative. You know? As I'm sure you guys can appreciate, because you guys are creators as well.
I guess the family part cheap.
No, you don't feel that way. I feel like this is a very creative
family
platform.
don't retire to say uptown. Yeah.
You seem just straight me on that.
You see, I don't know what's going on that side of the culture.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't sing for saving my life. So,
But you're still a creative because you guys built this.
well, I can sing. I think I can sing.
All right, so before she starts laughing at some random singing.
wait,
You
want
look
me
like
sing
you were
for you?
prepared to sing.
no,
You know,
no,
I
no,
saw
You
you.
want me sing for you?
Go for it.
Okay.
No, it's not about you. So you never had feel Rastafari calling for your life.
Definitely,
Mom's a Rasta,
man.
like how that situation stay, Rastafarianism is basically, prevalent throughout the family.
Definitely. I feel like I'm the type of person where my spiritual journey is one where I'm learning from different schools. You know what I mean? Because I always say God can't be learned. No, he can't be taught. He has to be learned. So you have to go out and learn who God is. To be honest with you, you made a joke earlier, but I actually did have locks at one point. But I cut them because I know, to me, when I'm up in foreign and I see people have locks, but it's like a style, or it's like they're a trapper or XYZ. The trappers don't come from me for saying that. But I feel like, to me, locks mean a completely different thing. And I felt like because I couldn't fully commit to the Rastafarian culture, I had to cut them.
Because it's serious for you. It's more serious for you. Most people who have on locks know it's like it's a style.
It's a style.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's just lock me here. And especially if you're overseas, it's kind of an easy identifier that you're Jamaican too. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. So,
but you realize that it's more than just having the locks. It's really a faith that you have to live by, like the whole religion that you have to live by. You feel like you're not up to it.
I just feel like, as I'm saying, I'm learning from so many different schools that if I can't fully commit to it, it's a mockery. You know what I mean? But there's so many things in Rastafarianism that I take in life, you know what I mean, that
like
influence me. I think just kind of like the idea of, first of all, very basic, but something human beings have a problem with: peace and unity. You know what I mean? The idea that we're all one people and we're all trying to achieve this goal, the upliftment of black people, not the supremacy of black people, because I feel like people have been saying that about Rastafarianism for a long time. The upliftment, you know what I mean? I think that's very important. When I used to go to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, and I really listened to what they had to say. I was like, these people are very knowledgeable. You know what I mean? These people are actually more knowledgeable than they're giving credit for. I think just in this country, sometimes Rastafarianism is looked at a certain type of way for such a long time that they don't get that full credit. Does that make sense?
Will.
Well, not now. Back then.
That's really what I mean.
But even it kind of sort of exists to this day. To this day.
In what way?
It's just that it has lessened.
It's less prevalent than it was back then. Back then it was just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was known.
Yeah. But no, he's like, your grandfather is like the symbol of Jamaica.
Right. Yeah. So we made progress.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying.
And it's easier for him to say, but what about other regular Rasta.
True. You know what? Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
She still at it, but
You having a real deep think about that one.
So the Ethiopian Orthodox Church is in Jamaica or in Canada?
It's in Jamaica.
Oh, Jamaica.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So you cut your locks really in Canada?
When I was in Canada. I grew them and cut them when I was in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you did see white man wear
No.
locks.
I mean, I did see that, but that's not why I cut them. You know what I mean? It was my choice.
Yeah.
I tell you, brother, at least somebody in the family offended him. I say, he call himself Cruff. He cut off his locks.
I don't think anybody's offended at all.
You want to be a man.
No, he wants to be.
good.
He just wants to be his own Marley.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There you go.
So talk about the song with Runckus, Fallback.
Mm-hmm.
Like the song. You see me order link up there going.
So I've been a fan of Runckus for a long time. And when I came down here, I think it was December 2022, I had a camp with these producers from Montreal called Banks and Ranks. We actually work very closely together. And we were at Big Yard Studios. And I believe it was my manager, Steve Urchin. You know what I mean? Yeah. Shout out Steve.
That's why.
Shout out Steve. You see me? He also knows everybody. You see
Yes,
me?
he does.
So big up Steve every time. But I'm pretty sure he was the one that reached out to Runckus and said, you know, Cruff is a fan. He'd love to get some work in with you, XYZ. So the man came through to the studio, laid down the fire chorus, you know what I mean? And while he's there doing that, I'm over in the corner writing my verse like, yo, this has to slap. You know what I mean? I can't flop on this. And we only had the bass line to work towards, a doom, 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 you know what I mean? And we did that. We're kind of like, all right, this is cool.
Very dancehall bass line, man.
Very dancehall bass line. And by the end of the night, Soki was like, yo, listen to this, and played us the full track with all the elements. And we were like, yo, we have to drop this one. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And he doing, and even though there's dancehall base to it, it don't sound dancehall. Like there is really an international sound to it too. So I mean, even in Canada, like maybe that's the inspiration, like just trying to be eclectic in your sound and approach the music where you're not trying to be one thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I just like so many different types of music. I want to try everything. You know?
Yeah, makes sense.
And then the collab with Stonebwoy, you know. I'm really bad too. I mean, all that far, but she don't need.
So Stonebwoy, if what I remember is true, was that he had heard some of my music from time, and he was like, yo, this kid's sick. And I think it was a very similar situation where Steve just knows some people on the team, you see me? And we had this song and we were like, yo, we're going to release it. And then someone from the Universal Music Canada side was like, yo, maybe we should get Stonebwoy on this. And then Tutus, you know what I mean, from Conversations, XYZ, we're able to get him on that. And you know what, big up Stonebwoy, because when I meet people who are celebrities, I just expect off the bat that they're not going to, you know what I mean? They're going to be like, oh, I'm the coolest guy in the room. Ray. Stonebwoy is one of the most humblest artists I've ever met and ever worked with. He acts like he knows you from days. The man saw me the other day at Last in Time when I was walking in, and the man looked at me and said, Cruff, you see me? And big me up like, you know, we're big bridges because we are. I have a lot of ratings for Stonebwoy.
Okay. So I said to him, stay when we did interview.
Yeah. So is there plans to do a like EP, mixtape, album? Or because it's just singles that you're working on for now, I'm assuming.
Right. So we have a lot of singles coming out over the spring, summer season. And I'm hoping to see an EP at the end of the year. But right now, our main goal is to build up the audience. You know, we want people to know who King Cruff is. You know, we still have some work to do. This is still a emerging, upcoming, whatever you want to use. But once you get to that point, the EP will be ready, and we're always working on it. You know what I mean? We're always working on it so that when them say, yo, it's time to drop, we have the tracks ready. The vault is full, you know?
Nice.
So we're just waiting for the people.
Do you want is your focus trying to build a local audience, like a Jamaican audience, as your core fan base, or is it that you have Canadian connections, so you're working on building a Canadian local audience? Like, what's the goal for you?
I want an audience everywhere. Yeah, everywhere.
But you know, everybody have them home.
Right.
But you're Jamaican Canadian, so it's like, which one are you
Do I
trying
have-
to work on?
Do I have to choose?
Well, based on some school of thoughts out there, that you have to shot
There
a
has
yard
to be
before
one or
you
the
shot
other.
abroad.
Yeah, and then you have 2 yard.
I mean, I want to be able to come back home and like have people know who I am.
Yeah.
So it's very important to me that we have the Jamaican audience. But
Okay.
I'm trying to be worldwide, you know?
Good answer.
Bury on the fence and
Diplomatic.
yeah,
That's what you want to call it.
Big up though, bro. What do people them care for up on the socials?
It's King Cruff, KingCruff, on everything, you know what I mean? Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Can't really post no music on TikTok right now, but you know, hopefully that gets
Oh
worked
yeah,
out.
you're on the Universal.
Yeah. So-
Okay.
But, you know, go and listen to the music on Spotify and Apple Music because that's where you get the actual vibes.
Wait, let's talk about that a little bit. So have you been affected by that?
I have. They came for
Oh.
my music immediately. Yeah, it was really fast because it was like, you know, I thought they're, you know, it's Drake and Taylor Swift and Bad Bunny. So it's like, oh, those are the people that they're going to go for. Yo, the day after it got announced.
Crazy.
So people couldn't dance or play music anymore, like.
So the way how it works is that everything that uses your song, it comes up as muted now. Yeah. So hopefully that gets rectified. You know what I mean? It really doesn't really have much to do with me, or I don't have a lot of control in the situation.
So have you advocated for yourself to like say, well, this is just an added platform for me. So can you sort it out quickly?
The situation is so much more bigger than me. Like so much more. But that's why I have Instagram. I pivot. You know what I mean? Like I improvise. Nothing really stops the train.
Okay, cool.
Just one less social media app that you can quote as a stat. Such and such plays on TikTok.
gosh.
But thank you guys so much for having me.
No,
I'll
man, of
give
course,
thanks.
yes.
You know what I mean? Keep on putting in the word. The song them dope. You know what I mean? The song them dope. I'm
Appreciate it.
respect say actually I build something off your own name. You know, off of your own flame. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Admirable. Yeah, man. Anything else you want people them to know what's forwarding?
More songs coming out. We have the Joe Mercer show tomorrow. So
Not tomorrow, no, Saturday.
tomorrow is wait, what's today?
7.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Yo, I'm busy. I don't even know what day of the week it is. So Saturday, I have the tour as soon as I go back up to Canada with Dylan Pandas. And yeah, just still building, you know? And thank you guys again for having me. Like this was really dope.
People, King Cruff. I'll fix and read that.